So this is the part that I was promising you about the handrails and the advantage that J-Edge has. Now this is a typical bent plate detail at the edge of slab, and this is what they have to do for temporary safety railing for construction in the field. You can see that they have to weld on an angle to the inside of the bent plate. Well, what happens to the angle whenever they finish construction? It just simply gets zipped off and cut level with the slab, and that actually introduces some re-entrant corners into your nice slab where cracking can originate from. And think of all the wasted material associated with this cutoff system. All they have to do with it is to be able to waste it. So this is a picture of that typical construction where you see a bent plate, and that would be the typical angle that is welded off to the inside of that bent plate. With J-Edge, there's those clips that I mentioned to you before that we saw in that picture, and those clips have bolted connections, and they allow for a keyed lock with a safety railing system that is reusable in the future and very easy to remove during construction. Here you can see it on the Shamrock headquarters building. You can see this is the J-Edge anchor part of it, where you see that groove that goes along the edge of Shamrock headquarters. And those are the clips that are for the handrail system and the handrail that bends towards the inside of the construction. J-Edge installs behind the curtain wall. Another advantage that we can see with the same use of these clips is a temporary enclosure where we run a member floor to floor, and we're able to greatly reduce the time to have a temporary enclosure. So they hang a sheet across these vertical members and they have it. And so we see that as a possibility for the future of temporarily enclosing quick. So there's also some improvements for support in handrail systems, glazing systems, either interior or exterior. Typically, these types of systems have an angle support that is welded, field welded to a bent plate again. So instead of that, we see the possibility of having a bolted connection, which speeds and reduces the cost. We also see improvement for support of precast systems, whereas we had with the traditional facade where you had that bent plate and we had the embed anchors up in the top of the slab and the loss of real estate associated with that, we're able to move this all outboard, and we're able to use a bolted system to be able to support that precast. You don't have the loss of real estate.
This system reminds me, of course, of Unistrut and all the flexibility that comes with Unistrut. I mean, it's the same thing here. And, you know, I think we're just scratching the surface of what can be done with this system.